Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be sharing my 5 resolutions for 2025 as well as looking back on my resolutions for this year and sharing my thoughts on how I did. So if you want to know how I got on with these beauty resolutions this year as well as what I'm hoping to achieve next year, then keep watching. Okay, so I just had a little peek at what my resolutions were for this year because I'm really aware and I hold some of them, you know, quite close and constantly thinking about them and making sure that I'm pushing myself on them, but others definitely get sort of a little bit forgotten about over the year. So I've definitely had a mixed bag of results this year, I won't lie to you. We're starting off with my 2024 resolutions. So my resolutions for this year were to find a holy grail bronzer. I really felt like that was a category in makeup that I had a load of bronzers that I love, but there's not one that really stands out as being absolutely perfect. So that was a resolution for this year. Another resolution I set myself was to purchase less fragrance. So I set myself a kind of soft goal of 6 for the year. So previously my kind of limit with fragrance was that I would purchase 1 a month, which would have been 12 in the year. So I wanted to halve my kind of usual fragrance purchasing just because I've got such a beautiful collection now and I really don't want it to grow any bigger. I felt like I had the right amount of fragrance that I could use all of the ones that I really love and then some sort of wild cards, some that other people like to use, some that I like for comparisons, but I really didn't want to keep getting, you know, lots and lots of new perfumes and not be able to really use and enjoy those that I love. And I really don't want to have a whole new storage unit either, and this is getting very much full. So I thought 1 every other month was a good goal. I also really wanted to stop using skincare that I'm not really enjoying until it's finished, just because I feel like it's wasteful not to, or because, I don't know, I'm a completist. I've learned that about myself over the years. I can't leave things unfinished, even if I don't like them. I feel like I have to use them up. I don't have that feeling about makeup. I never use any makeup up for the most part, but I definitely feel that way about a lot of things, and skincare being one of them. And I was really using a lot of skincare till it was finished, some of it that I actually really disliked. So I wanted to stop doing that. And then I wanted to review less products that I personally am not interested in, because I really feel like it's not that fair of a review. If it's something I dislike, I don't want to try. It's also not as good of a sort of investment in the cost of products that I know I won't use after I've reviewed them. And then my final resolution for this year was to play more with hairstyles, to try out more hairstyles, to try and learn some more hairstyles that I can do day to day. So those were my 5 resolutions for this year. So Holy Grail bronzer, I still don't feel like we're there. I loved a lot of bronzers this year. I tried a lot of new bronzers, the RMS, the YSL, the Armani bronzer. I rediscovered a new shade of the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer that I had previously enjoyed, and their bronzers in the Hourglass palettes that I really like, but I still don't feel like I have a bronzer that is perfect. I still don't feel like I have a bronzer that I absolutely love to use every time I do my makeup. I still am in the hunt for it. You know, the Armani finish is perfect and packaging is perfect, but the shade is too warm. The RMS has a really nice finish and a nice tone, but the packaging is not something I like to use or gives me a lot of joy and enjoyment. The YSL is a little matte. Everything is just something missing. There's no perfect one yet. So the hunt goes on. That was a fail. The less fragrance I've absolutely succeeded on. I think I'm at 6 now. We've got a few weeks left of the year when I'm filming this. So maybe it might go to 7. A lot of fragrances do come out around the Christmas period because, you know, that's a very common gift for people. So we may go to 7 if there's a few that I've got my eye on that I may purchase, but at max we've got 7. So I've smashed that. That was really good. I actually feel really good about the fragrances I purchased this year. They all were absolute loves. So I think it's made me really consider carefully purchases, whether I'm really going to love, and they're going to become, you know, a signature fragrance in my complete top rotation of fragrances. Otherwise I have left them, and I don't regret anything. There's nothing that I felt like I really missed out on. There's no fragrances I really desperately wanted or felt like my collection could benefit from that I passed on. I got the fragrances I really badly wanted, and I didn't really have any regrets. So I'm definitely going to keep that up. I feel like that's a nice number, that I'm still playing with fragrances. I'm still getting new fragrances when I really want to, and when I feel like there's something different or special for my collection. But I'm still getting to actually use everything and wear all my favorites. The stop using skincare I definitely achieved. Like the moment I decided to have a word with myself about that, and it was silly to keep using skincare that doesn't work for me and it's not really serving anybody, once I've, you know, ascertained that, I did it immediately. I no longer use skincare I don't like, even if I've only used it a few times. If I feel like it's not good or I have a reaction, it will go in the bin. But if I feel like it's good, it just doesn't work for me, I'm not enjoying using it, then I gift it and move on with my life. That has definitely been a game changer for me. Like forcing myself to use something up when I really don't like it is, I don't know what I was thinking. Reviewing less products I'm not interested in, I've definitely been doing. I've definitely been doing a good job of that. I have taken some stick for it, for sure. I know there are people who wish I had reviewed more of certain brands that I've kind of neglected a little more this year, but I feel like for me it's been good. It's really helped me sort of prioritize products that I'm really excited about. And I know that you guys, a lot of you find me because you share like my favorite brands. So whether it be Lisa Eldridge or Charlotte Tilbury or Natasha Denona, you've probably found me through, you know, a review or a video about one of those brands because they're your favorite brands. So me reviewing my favorite brands and prioritizing products that I really love, ultimately for most of you means that I'm prioritizing brands and products that you guys are the most interested in. So I think that's worked well. Perhaps I could do it even better. Next year I did have some regrets this year, things and ranges that I thought I wish I hadn't invested in those because the review was not popular and I didn't really want the products. So I've definitely learned a bit more about that this year and will continue it next year. And the play with more hairstyles, I've smashed this out the park. I 100% have been doing way more with my hair this year than I have ever my whole life. I think I've learned some really good little, you know, go-to buns, some little greasy hair day, go-to hairstyles. I started playing more with tools. My beachy waver got a lot of use this year. So I've definitely been playing a lot more with my hair, as well as my colour. I've gone back to playing about with my colour a bit more, which I've always loved to do and really enjoyed. I feel like a part of me felt like for a little while I had to like start, you know, hiding my grey and blending it so that it was unnoticeable and aging and letting my hair naturally show. But then I just realised no one's making me do that and I'm not ready to. So I'm really enjoying my colour. I'm really enjoying playing with some more hairstyles and little braids here and there. And it's been a lot of fun. I need to do it even more next year. So a pretty good year, I fear, for my resolutions. I did pretty well. I feel like there's 1.5 that I could have done better with, but we move on, we move on. So for 2025, I have set myself 5 more resolutions that I want to share with you guys because it helps me stay accountable. Now, I've always previously done these as like beauty resolutions. There's one in here that is not a beauty resolution, but I wanted to share with you in this video because that's the best way for me to be accountable for it because I've said it out loud on the internet. So you're all going to be holding me to it, I'm sure. But 4 of them are still beauty related. The first one is, I'm looking at it thinking, why did I write that down? It's terrifying. But it's to find a new Holy Grail foundation. Why? The reason being that the rumour mill has been going for some while now that my treasured, precious Holy Grail for years, Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation, is on the chopping block. I'm expecting it to be coming in the next 12 months, or going, as it would be, in the next 12 months, that we're going to lose it. It's either going to be discontinued, or my best guess is that it's more likely it's going to be reformulated, as we saw the Soft Matte foundation reformulated this year. I expect it will be reformulated. I don't think it will be a straight discontinuation because it's literally one of their most popular products from their permanent line. It's very, very popular foundation. It certainly is in this house. I've been through multiple bottles of it. I adore it. It's my favorite. It's head and shoulders above any other foundation that I love. And it's going to be brutal when it leaves. So I'm going to get ahead of the game. I'm really determined this year to find another foundation that I love as much, if not more, I don't know if that's possible, than my precious Shade and Illuminate. I don't think it's possible that I'm going to find one better, but I pray to find one I like as much. For all of you who found that foundation because of me, I owe it to us all to find that. So that's going to be my hunt this year, is I'm going to be finding a foundation that I love as much as the Shade and Illuminate, so that we can get ahead of the game and brace ourselves for that one to be changed and ruined potentially, or to be gone altogether. So first resolution, find a new Holy Grail foundation. The next goal is, I hate this one. Why have I made it so horrible this year? Pan 5 products. What? Who does she think she is? Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I did a project pan a few years back and I hated every minute of it. It just made me feel like I forced to use products when I wanted to use something else, and I didn't enjoy it, and I said never again. So I'm not going to do a full-on project pan this year, but I am going to set myself again a loose goal, a resolution to pan a few products. I'm not necessarily going to state it's got to be these ones, so I can still use my makeup however I'd like, but I'd really like to see me finding products that I love so much that I naturally pan them. And there's a few that are well used and loved, so I think they could be in with the running. So that's my resolution, to pan 5 of my makeup products, and I will of course keep you posted on that one. Next up, a fragrance goal. I want to find the ultimate perfect caramel perfume. I have kind of started hunting for caramel fragrances over the years. It's a note I adore, and I don't find a lot of beautiful caramel fragrances out there that I really love. I think they're typically usually a bit fluffy and sweet and girly for what I like. I want dark caramel, you know, really beautifully balanced, something probably quite, you know, warm, spicy, but not sickly sweet. I've started looking, I found nothing quite right. So this year I'm really going to go ham. I'm really going to go in, I'm going to do all my research, I'm going to get a lot of samples, and I'm going to hunt and try to find my perfect ultimate caramel perfume that will make all of my dreams come true. Next up, I want to try more from indie brands. This is something, again, I get a lot of requests and questions about. Unfortunately, the cold hard truth is indie brands don't do well in videos, or certainly not for me on my channel. They don't do that well for me, and whenever I reviewed indie brands previously, they've just not done well. I do have indie makeup, I do purchase from some indie brands, but I could definitely expand my horizons. We are kind of limited here because a lot of indie brands are obviously not UK based, and a lot of them either have extortionate shipping or just don't ship outside of the US if they're US based, because they, you know, they're smaller independent brands, hence the name, and they don't have, you know, huge amounts of money to spend on shipping and warehouses, international shipping and international warehouses and things like that. So I do want to try harder and try more indie brands. If you have any that you could recommend, let me know in the comment section. Typically as well, I find my impression of indie brands, whether it's quite true or not, I'm not sure, but I feel like a lot of indie brands, particularly when it comes to eyeshadow, is scary. They do a lot of very colourful, bright, fluorescent colour stories, do indie brands, and that's why some people are such fans of them, because that's what you love: artistic, beautiful colour stories, pastels and rainbow eyeshadow. But you know very well that's not what I do, so I shy away from them. So I definitely want to give more indie brands a bit more of a chance here on my channel, use them more, try them more, share them more with you guys. And then my final resolution is the one that is not beauty related, and that is to finish my book. So I have had a book in the works as long as I can remember, as far as my thought processes and notes and jotting down. I even started fully writing chapters a few years ago, and I got a few chapters in, and then life happened and babies came along and jobs changed and all of that, and it just fell by the wayside. But I've had a book in my head for years now, and I've really started this year sort of honing my thought processes about it, exactly the format, how the chapters would work, and you know, the flow of the story, and I have it all in here. I just need to have it in my computer and type it out. So this year, that's why it's so important, I feel like, to say this out loud. That's my biggest resolution for 2025, to be the year that I not just start writing my book, but I finish my book. I'm going to try and dedicate a day a week where I'm writing rather than filming or editing for my channel. And that's my goal, to get it finished and ready to do goodness knows what with. Maybe read here, I don't know, self-publish, I'm not sure what to do, but the first step is to get it written so that anyone other than me can know about it. So that's my biggest goal for next year, and I will keep you posted on how I do. I've said it out loud now, so I've got to do it. So there you have it. Those are my 5 resolutions for 2025 and my thoughts on how I got on with 2024's resolutions. Do you make resolutions? Did you make any this year? How did you get along? Let me know in the comments section, and please join in with me and let me know some resolutions that you want to do for 2025. Are you doing a project pan, for example? Do you have a life goal you want to achieve next year? Let's share and hold each other accountable by writing them down and telling someone out loud that that's what we're going to do. I feel like it's so good for sort of keeping you driven and motivated that other people know about your goal. They're not going to let you get away with forgetting about it. But there you have it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.